Welcome to another panel here at NFTCON. Today we're talking about music and NFTs and how NFTs play a big part in the industry. Today we have the CEO of 720, Dean, and also Lin Dai, CEO of OneOf on stage as well. But before we get into today's panel talk, I'd love to have you guys do like a quick intro. We can start with Dean.
Hi, Dean Wilson, CEO 720, long-time manager of Deadmau5 and business partner within the label and the publishing company and everything that we're doing in the blockchain, in Web3 and the metaverse with our other company, Pixel Links.
Hi, I'm Lin Dai, co-founder and CEO of OneOf.com. We are a green NFT platform built for the music community, backed by Quincy Jones. So we, launched a company about a month ago, and working with kind of some of the biggest artists in the world, including Doja Cat, Quincy Jones, Whitney Houston, and Alesso, et cetera, et cetera.
Justin, we can't hear you, on mute.
Of course, yeah. Sorry about the technical issues. Kind of like kicking off with thinking about NFTs and the application and what you guys are working with, especially with the talent. How did you guys, I guess, for both of you guys, how did you guys first stumbled about NFTs and started to think about all the different applications within the businesses and talent that you guys work with? Start with Lynn.
So, I was interested in kind of blockchain technology and what it can do for the music industry in general for probably 6 or 7 years. We hosted a summit together with one of my mentor and an investor in the company, Bill Tai, I think 6 years ago, with the artist Imogen Heap, who was kind of at the time using blockchain technology to fairly distribute kind of record royalties. We ended up building a B2B software company that services, some major clients in the music industry. Fast forward to 2.5 years ago, Bill Tai came to me and was like, "You got to take a look at these blockchain cats." CryptoKitties was kind of the genesis for a lot of things, and what we thought was NFT potentially represents kind of an interesting fourth pillar of how music artists can monetize, right? So, and it's very different. Like if you think about, music artists, their record, music sales income, oftentimes they collateralize that, right, by signing a record deal. Their tour income, oftentimes they collateralize that by by signing a promoter's deal with a Live Nation, etc. And their songwriting kind of income, which they often collateralize with a major publisher. So NFT is kind of, it's actually complementary and non-cannibalizing to the other 3 revenue streams, but it doesn't require the artist to collateralize anything, which is like very exciting. It's kind of fundamentally more exciting than the traditional music business model. So we were, we kind of got to work for the last 2.5 years on this NFT for music strategy.
And so with all the different NFT applications, with what you just said too, are you guys targeting all those different layers for NFT applications with OneOf, or are you guys like looking at just like one specific part of kind of the like royalties, or was it like one specific subsection within the whole talent application?
Yeah, I think ultimately NFT technology can enhance all of those revenue streams. But to get started, I think we're looking at just the low hanging fruit. The easy part is NFTs as collectibles, right? NFTs as for the super fans that allow your biggest fan to collect a piece of media from you, but also use that as a almost an access pass to get either digital or in real life experiences. So how the digital world and the real world kind of intersect with kind of NFT as the gateway is super interesting to us. So I think we're like literally in the first or second innings of this. So I think longer term, certainly NFT will replace traditional ticketing, right? NFT will greatly enhance how royalties are distributed in kind of the other two verticals. But right now it's just kind of a direct. If you think of NFTs as collectibles or merch, that's a huge open space for artists to monetize directly with their fans. That doesn't have to go through kind of signing a collateralized deal with a major entity. So,
and with you, Dean, I guess when did you kind of stumbled upon NFTs and kind of started thinking, hey, how can we kind of utilize this with deadmau5 and other applications as well too? What kind of like went off in terms of a light bulb for you? I mean, it's always been some stuff like you guys have been looking at in terms of like messing with different digital things out there too as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've had, Joel's a technologist. He's a gamer. He was a gamer way before he was a musician with a mouse head. He was a designer and a coder before that. So we've always been in the gaming and tech space because of who he is. And also we've always been at the bleeding edge of trying to find as many technical use cases for technology within the music space as we can. As soon as blockchain come along, it made perfect sense to us. We've spent years reclaiming our rights, just like Lin said. We did all those moves, and we're almost there. We nearly own all of our rights now, and the same with the record label and the publishing, because we could see where this was heading 3-4 years ago. We could see that once this gets its momentum going, this area is going to explode because the technology is so good. That the NFT use case is going to be so vast. We partnered with our friends out down in Australia who've got a blockchain DSP called Emanate. They're also building a DAO called the Moderator, which is all about musical rights and grants and helping the creator community, which is going to launch later October, November this year. And those guys came to us with, oh, look, you should really look at this collectible series through Wax about doing deadmau5 cards. And I was like, this makes a lot of sense, taking the collectible card situation in, baseball, soccer cards, whatever, and then taking them to the digital sphere. And it made a lot of sense to me. Most people looked at me like I've got 3 heads and went, what? People, you're selling JPEGs. This is crazy. People are never going to buy these. This is never going to, and it surpassed anything that we could ever have thought it was going to do. And then, it just, took off. I mean, the crazy bubble was a bubble for a minute, which everybody, we were in the middle of that, which was fun for 5 seconds, but that was never sustainable. We all knew that the business had to level down to where it is now. And we're doing some form of an NFT drop pretty much every week.
Nice.
Some have got music to them. We haven't done a specific just music NFT yet. It's coming. We have a new album coming early next year. We will take at least one single from the album, and it will be solely an NFT. It won't go on to a DSP. And then I've been fascinated by fractionalized ownership probably since Bowie Bonds. Most people won't even remember David Bowie, taking his album and splitting it up into shares. And I was like, wait, this is really obviously brilliant, simple. And, how to get your fans engaged with your music, really touching it, like buying shares in Apple or Tesla. I was like, why are we not doing this? And, we roll on. And as Lin well knows, you know, the music business is a horrible, complicated beast with lots of IP on ownership rights of masters and publishing and collection societies, and split many different ways between writers and producers and artists. So, you know, I mean, I've done so many meetings now with different platforms that are saying that they've got the fractionalized ownership locked down, you know, and then I talked to a bunch of different lawyers who go, have you really got that sorted with the SECC and the securities? And, you know, are we just opening a horrible can of legal worms? So look, we're all in. We you know, we love what people like Lin are doing. We are here to support everybody and everything we can. We won't ever do an exclusive deal with anybody, because we've just started, and you know, all boats rise here. This is the start of the future. I liken it to, we went from vinyl to tape to CD to digital downloads to streaming, and now we're going to go to NFTs. And I really do believe that's what, you know, in 2 to 3 to 4 5 years time, you know, we will connect with your fans direct. You know, Audius has proved that there's the SoundCloud of blockchain, you know, and they've got to get their business and their financial side of that right, and it's coming. And we've been advisors there from start with Ronil and Audius and the team over there. And, you know, we are trying to work with as many different platforms and as people as we can, with as many different chains. And as the technology keeps expanding and cross-chain starts to expand, I think all we're going to do is exponentially keep expanding this amazing new technology use case that's going to help the music business.
Yeah, no, thanks for kind of giving us a full run through kind of how you guys are approaching NFTs. That's kind of like the next question I wanted to follow up with, more of kind of like the design thinking when you guys are building or looking to approach NFTs. It seems like with you, Dean, would you say that right now you guys are just coming up with a lot of, it's been like rapid experimentation of trying first, it's like, yeah, like wave one NFTs, collectibles. It's like everybody's doing collectibles, like just collect my JPEG. But then it seems like you guys are rapidly evolving to just test and find out. I mean, I guess we're all still experimenting right now in the space, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of collaborations, as you've seen, with Mad Dog Jones, OG Slick, you know, and we've got a lot of collaborations coming. And those collaboration pieces are, you know, with deadmau5, the musicalized, and then the artist themselves. You know, it's a straight partnership. We do all the work. We split the money. There's no crazy splits and I'm more powerful than you. No, this is straight up partnerships. And what's been phenomenally successful for us is when we do an NFT drop that is numbered and a physical drop that goes along with it. So if you get number one NFT, you get the number one printed version of it, signed by both of the artists, mailed to your house. And those are the ones that absolutely fly the furthest, because I think it's the two worlds colliding. You've got something physically on your wall, and then you've got something on your device and your phone, which is vastly becoming the social currency. I really like that statement. Is, you know, I have some friends at a golf club who have all chipped in a load of money, 10 of them, and they're buying CryptoPunks and Bored Apes, and they sit there, you know, showing each other when they're all having a beer, and I'm like, this is it. This is exactly what NFTs. I hoped it would be. It's already happening in the office here. The guys who work here are all sharing what NFTs they're looking at and what they're buying, and it's become a whole, you know, it is becoming the social currency. So I love that. You know, I think music is obviously a lot more complicated, but we will get there. And I think for us, the simplistic start point for us is one single as an NFT, maybe split into 500,000 or 1 million individual numbered NFTs, with each piece of art that's is its own piece of art too. And, you know, then it's a little bit more simplistic, as like a digital download used to be. The fractionalized onus side of it, which I would love to do today, you know, all I do is getting told by my lawyers we can't do that yet.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like the legal has to catch up with it.
Dean, you and us probably have the similar lawyers, or they probably went to law school at the same time.
Right, yeah.
Every time we brought it up, it's kind of like, yeah, like you probably don't want to go there right now. But I think for us, like we're kind of a music NFT platform. We specifically do music, so like complicated is actually good. I think we do complicated very well. Like art is actually very easy to clear rights wise. Music is the most collaborative form of art. There's like 14 people. That's always like, somebody that wrote like that one line is like, the line, right? Like, so I think actually, longer term blockchain do provide like a much better way to manage these complications. But for now, I think it also, we're not shining away from it. Like we love actually releasing music as NFTs. Dean, I'd love to talk to you more about that single if you guys pick a platform or not. So I think specifically kind of part of what we're trying to do is actually bring NFT to the masses. So music has that potential power, right? So if you think about music as a passion point specifically, it's stronger than art, right? Art traditionally has always been kind of in the elite, wealthy circle, versus music is always democratizing. Like John Lennon's Imagine potential, certainly can fetch millions of dollars as a one-of-one NFT, but like everybody, has a copy of John Lennon's Imagine, right? So music is meant to be owned by masses. So we basically ended up, we experimented on different blockchain protocols, and we launched with Tezos, and which, we brought the minting cost down to 2 cents. Right. So we're basically subsidizing 100% of our minting costs for every, NFT minted on our platform. We are able to kind of partner with artists to allow their NFT to be priced at $5, $1, because there's no minting cost. Right. So we did a Doja Cat drop that was super successful. Doja Cat collection started at $5. She is the #1 female streaming artist in the world right now. The one-of-one sold for $188,000. But like, majority of her fans could, who have never owned NFT before, who have never even owned crypto before, could sign up on our website with a credit card and made a purchase, from sign up to make a purchase in under 3 minutes, and bought a $5 NFT that like got access to her private Discord server on OneOf, and is now like kind of part of the community, right? So. And then there are other community member who's getting them into deeper NFT rabbit hole, which is always fun to see. But I think this, like, with the right artists over time, music has the ability to bring the next 100 million non-crypto native users onto blockchain, which is kind of our mission.
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on how I was going to ask in terms of like evaluating the different platforms. I guess it seems like, yeah, Lin, you've evaluated Ethereum being insanely high for the gas on the tech side for accessibility, and it seems like, Dean, I think you highlighted earlier too as well. You guys are mostly like, you guys are just open to being like cross chain and other chains as well. It just depends on like what the use case or the chain itself as well.
I mean, you've got to look at how successful OpenSea, over $2 billion in revenue generated last month. There's the default open platform for the secondary market for art. I'm sure Lin would love that for OneOf, and that become the the default open platform for music, and that is what's coming. Whether it is OneOf or whether it is multiple different platforms or whatever. But the whole premise of the decentralized, Web3 decentralized metaverse is that it's open and that we can go into different places and take our assets, sovereign identity to different chains. I think that's really important. Now, whether we ever get to that utopian view of decentralized everything, I don't think we get there. There's too many big players that need some framework. Like we need crypto framework from the US government right now to bring in real institutional money into crypto, because they're still nervous that there's no framework from the US government. So we are going to get there. Absolutely. The technology is too good. The people involved are so smart and forward thinking that, you know, we will, this will affect, or is affecting every part of our life, whether we know it or we don't know it. The blockchain is there. Crypto is now solidified as what it is. So people are trusting it now, which was the big thing. It's still a little scary. And I think Lin, you know, what he's building there is really important too, because you have to bring in the everyday person, and it has to be with fear, you know, because opening a digital wallet and DeFi still scares 99 or 97% of people that you talk to in the music business. We spend a lot of time when we're doing an NFT drop, and we haven't done music yet. So, you know, maybe as a piece of music, as a bed with what we're doing, that's happened. But every time we do a new drop with a different platform, we really try to educate our fans with social posts. Follow this instruction. This is how you do it. It's not scary. Make sure you open this and do it this way. It's, you know, we get so much feedback from our Reddit and our Discord that you know, it's starting to gain a momentum of education. You know, deadmau5 fans are predominantly tech forward thinking anyway because of who he is. So we're kind of one step ahead of, or quite a few steps ahead of maybe just a general pop act who is, you know, predominantly in that middle lane. We all have a responsibility to try and educate now the masses.
Yeah, you know, Justin, I would say also add that, like, it's not even it's the concept, it's the idea of NFT is still very foreign and very scary to most non-crypto users. We have now like made the onboarding process as easy as like 2.5 minutes, right? With a credit card purchase, and like we remove the cost issue and gas issue. Still, just, you know, serving, and each drop we do bring like, you know, tens of thousands of new users to the platform. But it is like very scary to, you know, to when we were talking to users that's not part of the community yet, like why didn't they, right? They're a big Doja Cat fan, or they're a big like fan of like whichever artist, and they're just like, well, NFT is not for me. It's very scary, right? It's too complicated. So it takes, you know, so we made the product easier to access, but it's still going to take a bit of education. It takes all of us to educate people that like this is something fun. You don't have to mortgage a house in order to do this. You know, like literally, like I was like, you know, I'm a, like, you know, I love collect other NFTs as well. I was on OpenSea yesterday, and it was like, you know, I was minting 3 NFTs, and the gas fee they were recommending was like $780, in order for you to even get in these NFTs. And I'm like, who are they targeting, right? Like, I mean, right now I think we're talking to a bunch of very excited early adopters, such as like, you know, ourselves, who's been in crypto for a while. The space, you know, the growth of space has to come from kind of the, you know, the next like 10 million, 20 million, 50 to 100 million users.
Yeah, I think mass adoption is key, and I think that with what you guys highlighted too, like making that accessible, whether it be through the minting or gas side, or just even the NFTs themselves, having you know, even just like a standard packs all the way up to super rare one of one type of NFTs as well for the different investors or collectors out there. Because I do agree, like I think even just like some of the entry price or floor price is just insane. Like it's a whole different behavior shift to people are now just whipping out their crypto wallets and spending tens of thousands or millions on JPEGs.
Yeah, I mean, it almost has to, right? You can't like the minting, the pre-mint cost is like $300 because it costs $700 to mint a $300 NFT. So
so that actually plays a factor in terms of like people,
right, like psychologically it's like very jarring that I was like, oh, I'm getting into this NFT for under $100. So but wait, you know, it costs $800 to actually like mint it. So I'm still spending $1,000 anyways. So
there's like a break-even price that people try to maintain it for, but obviously the floor is always determined by the audience, right? As well too. I think one other point that you guys highlight too, it was a lot about community, in terms of I mean, that's what NFTs is allowing us to all build is that community, whether it be for the brand, the talents, or the label, or whoever it is that is kind of getting involved with NFTs as well too. It seems like Dean, you kind of highlighted that you guys are listening to a lot of the feedback fast from the community itself as well too. Then Lynn also loved to hear kind of how community plays a part in the different talent. Do you guys work with like the different communities with each talent that you guys work with as well too? So love to touch more about that.
Yeah, from my side, we had a Discord very, very early, when it first appeared, that Joel was, on Twitch, and that's the gamers are using Discord to chat that way. So, Mouse Chord got developed very, very quickly by, pretty much from our Reddit moderators. Our Reddit page has, always been a place of real deep information, and then as we call them, the horde, the real core fans who really want to get really deep into knowledge, information, everything. And that's a lot of that is migrated now to Discord. Everybody, feels comfortable in that space. We're just about to launch our own community token called Cheese, and and that is there to completely keep incentivizing the community and building the community. So from my point of view is, community gets used a lot. It can get a little bit of a tiring word, but building your fan base, it's like, what was digital fan book clubs back in the day. This is digital fan experiences that you can, like you said with Doja Cat and stuff that we've done, is you are burying real life experiences into those NFTs. You have a chance to do this, or a meet and greet, or come to a show, or have a lifetime pass. I think that the musical artists and brands have so much inventory of exciting things that they can add to the NFT. That's, we're getting lots of great feedback about that.
Yeah, I think that's the magic bullet, right? Like for why NFT as a revenue stream from artists is very different from everything else. It's the community aspect. It's number one, you're identifying who is valuing your work beyond like kind of the commoditized like 99 cents per download like cost, right? Somebody is willing to, the market determined price, your top 1,000 or your top 10,000 fans are willing to pay higher for a collectible to get access to something exclusive or get access to some kind of experience. But this is also the first time, right? Like every other kind of type of relationship between artists and fans is always like the artist saying like, oh, pay me for this, right? Buy something, like come to my show, I'll give you an experience, like buy my album. This is the first time the community get to participate in like how well the project does. That has never happened, right? So I think there is a huge difference between artists that understand NFT as a community, how well those projects will do, versus artists who, and this is not just music, just our artists too, look at this as kind of a one-time drop and cash grab, right? So we actually think that's kind of the problem with a lot of the other platforms. The other platforms do drops like 16 drops a day, right? So, and it just like, it's always, you can't possibly managing or fostering 16 different or help 16 communities a day. So, I mean, we pick, like we'll do 1 or 2 drops a week, right? And the entire time is focused on working with the artist, our artist partner, to really help foster not only kind of the promotion, but also the long-term maintenance of the community. Like we're like the drop, it's the beginning, right? When the drop is sold out, like other platforms are like, we're out, we're on to the next big artist. Well, like that's when the work start happening, right? Like the Doja Cat like private channel that we opened on Discord, like that is a daily like giveaway to Doja Cat fans every day after the token has been sold out. Like there's no need to do that, but like that's kind of the commitment where we think the good projects versus the community driven platform is going to long term differentiate from kind of the eBay's type of platforms, right? So
yeah, I think you highlighted like a great point. You know, like we're still in the super early phases with NFTs, obviously, and there's still a lot of hype around. You know, especially like let's say there's a brand new artist that does like their first ever NFT. There's always hype around that too. But I think that what you highlight is kind of the importance of thinking beyond just that one hit drop and collect everybody's money and sell, right? Like there's either you're doing it for just to
there's been far too much of that.
Right?
Yeah, there's been far too much of that in the early days of musical artists doing an NFT because it was everyone wanted to be seen to be doing an NFT, and they thought it was a gold rush. You know, when the bubble burst for us, we doubled down. This is our strategy. This is our now new business. You know, avenue lane. You know, this is what we do. You know, this isn't. Oh, we tried NFTs, it was a bit of fun. No, we're all in. Blockchain, Web3, and we're building multiple metaverses. We're working with Sandbox, Decentraland. We work with Mythical Games with Blanco's Block Party. We have another big drop with them coming in at Halloween. You know, we were the first ever artist to sell our VIP tickets for Red Rocks on the blockchain. You know, we might have only sold 4 on the blockchain and the rest of them with fiat. But again, you have to start somewhere. You have to educate your fans. This, you know, it'll be 4 this time, 50 next time, 100, and then it will be like Lin Dai at the start of his conversation. This isn't just about music. This is about tickets, virtual merchandise, real merchandise. It will touch every part of the musician's business over the coming months and years.
Looks like we're coming to kind of like the tail end of our panel here. I think to close it up to, I think we'll love to talk about your guys' future outlook and where NFTs could play a huge part in terms of your guys' future, as well as the music industry and the talent that you guys work with as well too. We can start with Lin.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is actually, you know, we're working on kind of using the technology, not only working with artists, we care about the you know, just bringing all the rights holders together, right? So we can actually have break down the barrier of like, why isn't there a lot of you know, music as NFTs yet? Is exactly what Dean was saying. There's, you know, all the rights holders are not in agreement on how to approach NFT yet. I think we're pretty close in you know, getting kind of publishers, labels, artists all on the same page about like, this is this could be kind of a mutually beneficial thing, and this could be a new model for the music business. So we're very excited about that. There's some major announcement coming, but meanwhile, you know, kind of you know, every week there's exciting drops. We're building the community over time, right? Like tens of thousands at a time, with the goal of like, you know, getting to that 100 million. So
yeah, from my side, you know, it's a much bigger strategy for the brand, for Deadmau5, for the label, for the publishing company. We have our sister company called pixellinks.io, which is run by Inda and that is building, you know, metaverse worlds. We are also convinced that, you know, this is where music will be consumed in a very different way in the metaverse worlds, and again, that's got a long way to go, and it needs to be easily entered by the masses too. It can't just be PC. We need to get metaverses into the browser like Hyper are doing. We are just about to launch Deadmau5's video game next week with Manticore called Oberhausi, and again, that's a music and experience. It's doing concerts in a video game whilst being able to play the video game around the concert. So we're excited for that launch. And then the guys, you know, working closely, obviously, with everybody we can, you know, Audius, Emanate, launching of the Moderator is going to be important. I think for a start position of everybody in the music business talking about what a DAO can do for rights management, and helping with grants, and helping really try to give platforms to develop new acts now, because the DSPs it's really hard to break a new act on a DSP. It's algorithmically based, unless you've got crazy amounts of money or you've got massive hit records on the radio, it's nearly impossible to break new acts on DSP. So I think this is an amazing technology that is going to allow us to do things differently and bring through new acts in a different way, and create those stories. This is what's exciting for us.
Well, great. Thank you for both of you guys sharing kind of a lot of your insights, and also the design thinking and approach for the past NFTs and projects that you guys work with, and also to thinking about the future of NFTs and the application in the industry as well too. Yeah, I'd love to keep in touch and look forward to you guys' new upcoming game and drop as well too. And then same with you, Lin. Looking forward to the next drop and talent that you guys work with too. So thanks again for coming on to NFTCon.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.